Now for something completely different.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So we made it back from New York safe and sound, but we're gonna lay low for a couple of weeks just in case we got exposed.
But we're feeling fine, so that's good.
Yeah, that is good. So we're gonna give you something a little bit different today. For those that are moving from the north down to the south, lawn care down here is totally different. We had owned this house for a couple of years and I kept killing the lawn. So we're gonna give you our tips on how to care for centipede lawn. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's see this.
All right, let's see how to care for centipede lawn.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now.
All right, so we had this house for a number of years before we actually moved here. And every year we'd come down and the grass would be dead. I'd be getting letters from the association, hey, your grass is dead, do something about it or we're gonna send you a fine. And every year the same pattern. The grass might look a little better, but then it would die. We'd come back in the spring and it was dead. And I couldn't figure out why. Until we moved here full time in January and I had some time to actually research and learn about southern lawns, specifically the centipede lawn, which you see over here. And what I found out was that if you follow the same weed and feed and fertilizer pattern as you do up north and follow the same pattern down here, you will kill the lawn. So if you move in here from the north, don't follow the same pattern you do up north when applying your weed and feed and fertilizer, because if you do, your lawn will die. So up north, you would apply your fertilizer and weed and feed in the early spring, and then you might apply it in the fall, especially the fertilizer in the fall to get it ready for the winter. But if you do that here, that actually overstimulates the centipede grass and the grass dies. You cannot put any weed and feed products, full strength fertilizer or weed killer on the lawn until it's almost into summer. It has to be growing to put those products on the lawn. Because if you put it on the lawn too early, you'll kill it. The other thing, on the flip side, if you put it on the lawn in the fall, you'll also kill it. And the reason being is that if you stimulate the grass before winter, this grass is very sensitive to cold weather, cool weather even. As a matter of fact, it stops growing when it gets down to 50 degrees at night. And if you put fertilizer down and it starts to grow, the cool weather will actually literally kill the grass. So here are the steps I learned that will keep your centipede grass looking great and surviving through the whole year and through the winter. You ready? All right. Step number 1, put down Lesco Pre-Emergent in mid-February. Now that has no nitrogen in it, but it has a herbicide that will help prevent weeds from popping up during the summer months. Now, while on the subject of weed killer, you gotta check the product label. These grasses are very sensitive to certain weed killers. And if you put the wrong one down, like if you put one down that's designed for northern grass, like for fescue or rye, that weed killer will actually kill this grass because this grass is supposedly derived from some type of a weed. So you got to check all the labels on anything you put down in this grass to make sure it says safe for centipede grass, safe for southern lawns. Keep that in mind, very important. Now after you put that pre-emergent down in mid-February, don't put anything on the lawn until late May, early June. So what I do late May, early June is apply one application of Scott's Bonus S. It's a weed and feed. It's great for giving some nitrogen to get the lawn green. It's also great for killing weeds that may be developing in early summer, and it's safe for centipede lawn. But again, apply it late May, early June. If you apply it too soon, like I would have done if I was living up north, If you apply it too soon, you will stress the lawn out and possibly kill it. So that's bonus S, late May, early June. Now after that, you really don't have to do anything as far as weed and feed applications during the summer. As a matter of fact, centipede grass does not like a lot of nitrogen. If you give it too much nitrogen, that can overstimulate growth and actually kill it, and it won't come back for the following year. So you can just stop at that one application in late May, early June. If you want to, you can put a light 15-0-15 fertilizer on the lawn in August, but you don't have to do that. As a matter of fact, if you want to just green up your lawn as the summer's going on, put down iron alone, because this grass loves iron. So again, one application of fertilizer in the spring with your weed and feed, that bonus S, is all you probably really need, and then you can just apply some iron during August, for example, to green it up a little bit. Now here's an important step. Because the weather here in the wintertime is not that cold, you can get a lot of weeds growing on this lawn during the winter months. So put down in October another application of that Lesco Pre-Emergent 007. Put that down in October, and that will help prevent what they call cool weather weeds from growing in your lawn during the winter months. And then this way in the springtime, you won't start off with a whole bunch of weeds all over your lawn. Now here was another surprise. Up north, I never really applied much in the way of insecticides to the lawn, but down here, the bugs love to eat this lawn, especially something called mole crickets, which will bury underneath and eat your lawn all summer long. So unfortunately, you have to use some insecticides to keep the insects under control. Now to do that, in June and again in August, you have to apply an insecticide for the lawn. I use a couple different products. I use a granular insecticide, and I'll put the links below. I also use a liquid one that I apply mainly to the front lawn to keep the front lawn looking its best. But you should do that twice during the growing season. Now, as far as water, you don't have to give centipede a lot of water. If you do, that will also stress it out and kill it. I run maybe each zone between 3 and 7 minutes, 3 times a week. And as you can see, that's kept the lawn looking pretty good. So don't do a lot of water, because water will kill it. The other thing is this lawn is not good in high traffic areas. If you walk on this lawn on a regular basis in one particular spot, it will actually stress out and kill the lawn. And speaking of stress, there's something weird about centipede. If the lawn is under stress, look at the blades of grass, and the blades will actually turn red. And that will tell you that something's going on. But it happened to me over the summer, but I could never figure out what it was stressed about. Maybe it was stressed about the election, I don't know. But the blades will actually turn red when it's under stress. Now, the next tip is something that I've done that I've never read about. You know, up north, if you're from up north, you'll have a mixture of grasses. You'll have some rye, maybe bluegrass and fescue in one lawn, with the idea that if one grass gets stressed, the other grass will take over. Well, down here, they don't do that. They just put all St. Augustine, all centipede grass, and the lawn is one particular grass. But the truth is that centipede doesn't grow very well in shaded areas, while St. Augustine grass does. So I had this problem over here where it was kind of shaded, and the centipede grass just wasn't growing. And some spots up front where I had a similar problem. So this is what I did. In every spot where the original centipede lawn didn't seem to want to grow, I bought pieces of sod of St. Augustine grass and even a little zoysia grass. And I planted those in those spots. And sure enough, the other grass took over and filled in the bare spots where the centipede grass didn't grow. So if you look back here, this backyard is actually a combination of centipede over on this side, and St. Augustine, where it's a little more shady, on this side. And the nice thing is the colors look very similar. So when you look at the lawn, I can't really see a difference in the grass. If you look closely, you can see it. The St. Augustine is a slightly wider blade. Centipede blades are a little bit smaller, but it fixed the problem I was having, and I thought it looked pretty good. So keep that in the back of your mind if you have spots where your centipede grass just doesn't want to grow. Now, if you want to get more information, the Clemson University has a great website where they talk about taking care of grasses down the south. And I'll put a link below to that. But that has a lot of information about the grasses and how to take care of it. As a matter of fact, you can even collect the dirt sample and send it to them if you're having trouble with your grass growing. And they'll analyze your dirt and tell you specifically what you need to bring on a healthy lawn. We hope that you found that information useful. Here's a quick look at the back and the front yard. Until next time, safe travels.